talking about musicians and cool things and stuff. It's the Holly and Josh Show.
Are you ready to rock? Yeah! I don't know if Andy is.
That was hilarious.
Welcome, Andy. Welcome to your executive committee member for the Musicians Union, Andi Hopgood.
Thank you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Harley and Josh Show. We're going to be talking lots of music industry news and opinions, and also we're going to be playing some music by Casswell. We're going to be playing some music by Sunscreen and what my glass on telling truths, exactly. So yeah, that was plus the gig list as well to know what's going on.
Oh yeah.
So, I love you, Harley, but how you
thank
doing,
you very much.
Hoppi?
I'm all right, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, not too bad.
We have talked about Andy many times
We
on the
have,
podcast
yes.
before. But you are a musician extraordinaire, band leader extraordinaire, music teacher extraordinaire, fighter for musicians' union rights.
It's like I've paid you.
I know you do for the gigs.
Yeah,
so,
you have, yeah.
So this comes with the contract, I suppose. So yeah, but I mean, we could talk about you all day, but it'd be better if we hear from your words, I believe.
Want me to just go?
Tell us your story. What are you about?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you
Who are you?
What I do? Well, I've been a member of the Musicians Union since about 16.
Wow. It's about 5 years.
Yeah. Oh, yes, of course. And I've been on the executive committee for 8 years.
Wow.
Which is an elected position, which all the members in this area vote for.
Oh,
so
great.
I've
Cool.
been re-elected like a few
I
times.
voted for you.
Thanks very much. And so we run the union essentially. So we have like the people obviously that work for the union, but the executive committee has to agree everything that goes through the
Sounds like
MU.
you've got good racket going on. It's good. He's like, hey, yeah, give us your money for your gigs. I'll get it.
But there's like, so there's people from all over the country, musicians, everyone kind of does different things. So we've got orchestral people, a few freelancers, rockers, jazzers, like loads of just
cross genre.
Yeah, because you want to have a really diverse committee because we have to like decide everything. So
So I mean, part of your role is you help people. If someone has a question, they can come to you and sort of.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we're answering people's questions today. So
Yes, we are indeed.
do
yeah,
text
if there's anything
or
I can help with,
tweet or
yeah.
whatever.
I will do my very best.
We'll
We're
pick
on
some questions.
Facebook, so we've put out a little video there. So if you comment in the comments on the Facebook, it's just at Harley and Josh Show on, or just facebook.com/Harley
Yep.
and Josh. So yeah, find that out. Give us a question, and we'll answer it for you later on.
Yeah.
And if you don't get it in on the show, please always send me a message or a tweet because, it's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be something I can know about and I can help people out.
Maybe keep it music related.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Not
yeah.
like, is this infected? You're like, yes, go to a
Get
doctor.
to the pharmacy now.
Yes, I am not a doctor. Amazing. But so we usually start off with what Harley's been up to this last week. Let's carry that on. Otherwise, people will be like, I'm confused.
People still want to hear about me. They don't
Yeah.
want to hear
Absolutely.
about me at all, do
We'll
they?
keep it brief because I want to hear what Andy's been up to last
Cool.
week as well.
Well, I had a full weekend with the
Oh, it was a momentous weekend.
It was a momentous weekend. I had a full weekend with the Mementos, which was great because I haven't played with those guys, I think, since the beginning of September. It's been a while. And that particular weekend, we had we had Toby playing drums with us.
Oh, great, from Chart Attack.
From Chart Attack. And
Get your bingo cards out,
yeah.
guys.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
So I haven't seen Rob, our drummer, for a good 2 weeks, and since then he's
he
had
right?
a baby.
Oh.
Well, actually, no, his wife Laura's had a baby.
Oh, okay, good.
They
but-
have jointly. had
Yeah,
a child.
he played a part. So
You held a hand and moaned.
he it really hurts my hand. So
You have
yeah,
no idea.
this has kind of been the first sort of time that I've seen him, and he's sort of been away from kind of work and home. Which he was enjoying, but he couldn't wait to finish the gigs and get back to his kid and
Yeah, of course.
take
Yeah,
some of
that
the
won't
strain
last
off his
long,
wife.
yeah.
So
Yeah, well, please, I want to be out longer.
Yes, exactly,
Somebody.
exactly.
So it was a great weekend. We played Finn Valley Golf Club.
Yeah.
We played their annual
Nice
bash.
place.
We also played at Saxophonist Hall as well. It was the first wedding I've performed there.
Swanky weekend,
It wasn't even a
Mr.
wedding,
Cotton.
sorry. But so I dressed up really nice. I bumped into an old friend of mine, and she said that she's never seen me this well dressed ever. Because
Back from your
Is it
homeless
like
days.
a new suit?
I didn't even have a new suit. It was like a Tesco's, like just
F&F.
shirt and trousers
wrong with
and my
that?
shoes. But this
Sweat
is
it.
someone I went to high school with. So I when I wore baggy jeans and had long hair.
Yeah.
So
You had long hair.
I had very
yeah.
yeah. Well, every musician had long hair at some point.
Yeah.
Apart from the real punky women who just have short hair.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
yes, you're a
yeah.
woman and then you've shaved your hair.
Yeah, I guess
exactly,
it goes both
the
ways
opposite.
if you
Yeah, I
if
like
you're a
that,
part
yeah.
of that alternative music crowd.
Do the opposite of what society wants, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a really good weekend. I had lots of fun and
Any gear mishaps?
I don't think there was.
I'm not assuming.
Actually, there was a gear mishap at the beginning of the week, as you were aware. I managed to
Oh, yeah.
misplace my bass.
Oh, misbased.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask, did you have a strap?
I did.
Or did you have to fashion one out of some gaffer tape?
Yeah.
Like you did at our last year? I mean, I was impressed.
Yeah, it was
but I was
impressive.
like, how do you just not have a strap?
Oh, he's made straps out of everything. Gaffer
I
tape,
break
ties,
straps.
Tie,
Yes, yeah. And
intestines of small animals.
we don't talk about that.
I'm sorry.
I break a lot of straps. I like to get into it, and a lot of straps have a plastic buckle on them, and they're
and
notorious
then
for
it busts.
breaking.
Yeah.
That's why
Especially
you
from
bought that Deadpool one, isn't it?
yes, because the Deadpool one actually has metal buckle on
Ooh.
it.
Yeah.
So
It's made out of bullets. You
yeah.
pulled out your own body.
It's also that strap's really good because although it doesn't break, it can also break the fourth wall.
Nice.
Hey.
See, guys, that was a joke about talking to the audience and explaining a joke.
I see what you did there.
Oh, meta value right there.
So I have got quite good. It's not the first time that was the Duke of York, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That wasn't the first time that I've made a strap out of duct tape.
It was very good. I mean, you looked experienced at it.
Oh yeah.
And it
Oh
held
Very
up,
Jimi Hendrix.
and it held up both sets. You know, it was,
yeah.
it was pretty
I
good.
don't. I think it was Vicky Bennett turned up whilst I was making it in the van, and she was like, "You really know?" And I had a whole loom made out of a coat hanger. And I knew the exact length to go, so I put it on. It was perfect.
Do you have anything? Do you use anything for its actual original purposes, or do you just like to just utilize a lot of things?
People say I am the MacGyver of the music industry.
That's great. So you've got one of those. Definitely got one of those popper stoppers that's made out of some tights and an old.
Oh, yeah,
I have done
I've got
that
one of
bit,
them.
yeah.
an old coat
hanger
hanger.
repair.
They don't make
Yeah.
those coat hangers anymore.
No,
And the metal ones because too many people.
dry cleaners.
Whoa!
You guys go to the same dry cleaners, don't you?
We do indeed.
So like when Harley met Sally. Yeah. But I like it because when you find them, it's like gold dust.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I could get that because I've used it before for when my double bass, the sound post falls over.
Okay, yeah,
So,
oh.
and,
Whoa.
it's so annoying
That
because
sounds
when you
dangerous.
slap it, the sound but inside. It's just, it's connected it's between just for everybody listening, where the bridge is sort of held onto the body by the string tension, and then the sound post will go underneath the bridge and sort of link the front to the back of of this hollow thing. It's
Stop
like
it
a
going.
wardrobe with a post in the middle of it. But when that falls over, trying to get your hand in the little F-holes, pardon my French, is very difficult. So you have to get so I get a little coat hanger. Get it inside there, a little hook, and a bit of red ribbon tied around
Should
it.
that not be glued in some way?
Right, you'd think,
I-
but there's probably something
I
about
think-
the glue.
No,
It's
no,
more-
special string glue. It's a special, yeah. You have
I
to
think
take
it's
it
one of
to
those things
repair
that's very hard to glue. Because I suppose if you get it in whilst the glue's soft, that makes sense.
Well, I
Yeah.
would never attempt to touch a string instrument myself. I'd always just go to a repairer.
Yeah.
As
fair.
an ex-cellist,
Ooh.
I would always, because if you
Yeah.
use like normal glue, you will completely ruin it.
Do you phone
very-
up the string repair guy and be like, "Cello,
There you go.
here till 3, guys. Here till 3.
We
You've got a
are.
whole 50 minutes of this."
Thank Lord it's
Exactly.
not all week.
But, so that's quite amazing, boy.
That's kind of my weekend. There's not really much more to say other than found my bass, and that is pretty much like what I did.
Harley did stuff well done, buddy. We're proud of you. Well done. Well done.
You can't do a jingle without adding to it, can
I
you?
do, because that's why I have a little
We
ding.
get longer every week.
I feel we should add it. We should like record the add-on, and then eventually it will just be like 40 minutes of one jingle. It'll be
Yes.
and I did a couple of gigs, and this was where I'm playing this weekend. Bye.
Yeah, okay, well, good. Well, we'll have to add down every single time. I will be quite brief because...
Not
well,
boxer.
actually, I'm wearing boxers. But I'll be quite brief because I want to know what Andy did. Andy did stuff. But yeah, so I had a nice little Friday off. Which just a credit
Rare.
to I find I've had a lot of them recently because I've not really been chasing gigs so much. I think it's mostly
This is
because
the quiet month, really, isn't it?
yeah, I find it's been quite quiet, but I think more is because I'm getting most of my earnings from teaching at the moment. Well,
Right.
not actually most, but it's making up for a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't think I have to work so hard on the weekends. But so that makes what the gigs that we do quite special.
Do-do.
So on the Friday, what have you got yourself into, Andy? So on Friday I got to join Tom McCarthy up at the
Ooh.
waterfront in Norwich to go watch Aaron Buckhannon, the Cult Classics.
Nice.
Sorry, that was my battle cry, because it was them. It was a band from Switzerland, I want to say, called Dax and Roxanne.
Yeah.
And the headline band were Bad Touch.
Nice.
From Norwich. So it was their hometown show, so it was
Oh.
pretty much sold out.
It looked like it was really busy. I mean,
Really was.
when I saw Cult Classics, they were supporting. Who was it? The Skids? I can't remember. Is
Oh,
it?
amazing.
I can't. No, it may not be. Anyway, but from what I saw, it looked busier at your gig. But
Really.
them being
Were they
a Norwich
upstairs or
band-
downstairs? 'Cause-
Downstairs.
Yeah, so I saw them upstairs.
Oh,
and,
okay.
and I'd never been to that room before. Because
Right.
I'd never been to, what was it, Propaganda they have there sometimes?
Oh,
or-
okay.
Yeah, and and it was really good because it was nice to sort of see an extra sort of level to that venue.
Yeah.
And we were loading out. I helped them load out because I don't know, just like bus drivers
So
holidays
how-
sometimes, isn't it? Yeah.
Feel guilty.
You get to the end
Yeah.
of the day and you're like, well, now I should be doing some heavy
I should
lifting.
be picking things up, yeah. So you load out through the downstairs room. So that was really weird to just see that completely empty. And sort of see from the side of the stage. But yeah, that was a really wonderful set by the Cult Classics. It was just like, to be honest, the Dax and Roxanne weren't my thing. They would have been my thing when I was about 18. Because you remember what I looked like when 18, and
Yep.
so do you, because
Yes.
Andy actually taught us in college.
Yeah.
He did. So this is like 10, 11 years ago, something like that. I mean, yeah, when she was 9. The maths works out. But yeah, back then, when I was 18, I had the full-on Bruce Dickinson fringe and the long hair down to about my I think the longest it got was down to about my hips.
I met
And-
him once.
Yeah, Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell
So
us.
my dad fenced with him.
A fence. Wow.
yeah.
As in built a fence or
No, it offended
No.
him. He was just like, I don't like your hair, and just left. Fencing. Anyway, so back then I was super into my hair metal and things like this, and sort of like the thrusting rock of the 80s, where it was quite focused on male genitalia, I'll just say. So you end up kind of watching this thing when you're kind of matured a little bit longer, and you're thinking, I'm not really into this. Like, nobody's. This isn't doing anything for me. So, but they were talented musicians and they did a good performance. But I've just heard those songs before so many
Yeah.
times. It was just like I listened to Back in Black yesterday while I was doing loads of housework, because AC/DC is definitely housework music.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's a
because you can air
classic.
guitar with a Hoover,
Yeah.
or a mop. But I'm listening to the chord sequences and I'm just like, this has been copied so many times ever since.
Yeah.
And it's easy chord sequences with just songs with innuendo in them. that's kind of all it is. So people were really enjoying it, so I hope they do well. But I was just watching it, just going, it just does nothing for me. Aaron Buckhannon went on and they've just nailed it. There's such a lovely mix between sort of like alt rock, new metal, and like grunge from the 90s. That's got this kind of Deftones meets Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
And his voice is very kind of like Freddie Mercury meets.
Yeah.
Meets.
I've always.
What's his name
Like
from
proper
Muse?
belter, like.
Why can't I remember his name?
Matt
from
Bellamy.
Muse? Matt Bellamy. There we go. But yeah, sorry, you were saying.
I was saying, like, I've always I think I liken them to, say, if Freddie Mercury fronted Alice in Chains.
Yes,
There are a couple of songs on the album. Is it The Man with Stars on his
Yes, on his knees, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, on his knees.
On his knees.
I'm not sure if that means that he has stars and he's on his knees. Like, he's holding stars and he's on his knees going, I have stars!
I don't... Yeah.
Or if he's, like, put the stars on his knees and he's, like...
Or he's kneeling on, like... the Sunset... Is it Sunset Boulevard where he got all the stars?
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh. Maybe one day he'll have his own star on there. And then he'll be like, yeah!
That would be great.
Paid off.
But it sounds like if he fronted Alice in Chains, because there's one song that actually sounds really like Alice in Chains in the
one
production.
That sounds like Deftones one as well.
Yes, yeah. But
big fan of him.
Great
Big fan
album.
of him. They did a great thing in the middle of the set, which I thought was great. Which was he read out some mean tweets, like the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing, and like people that were just so like, oh, standing in a different place while Aaron Buckhannon plays. God, what's this music? It's too punky for me. And he's just sitting there, just like retorting live on stage. I love it.
Were these tweets that had come in whilst he was playing?
No, that would be funny though.
That would have been even better.
But yeah, there was a big
who said
thread.
this?
He was really, I like that. But I mean, I haven't seen any public criticism of the Lockabillys yet. But if I do see some, I want to do that as well. That's fun.
I feel that's when you know that you're famous, when you get people hating on you,
tweeting,
because it means people don't know you well enough to feel that they can criticise.
Exactly. No, I love it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Bad Touch did a great set. And it was just really nice to just hang out with Tom. We haven't seen Tom McCarthy.
It's been weeks for us because he's been away on tour. And we haven't seen him at Rock Project for ages.
No, I mean, it's been a Tom McWile thing.
I don't think I know this dude.
I
you'll
feel
meet him
bad
someday.
for you.
Yeah,
because he's
yeah.
great.
Oh,
but
devilishly handsome as well.
Yeah, well, if you ever need a good guitarist, you know, rather than this mediocre one that you've got sitting on your right here. Sorry, ask Tom Guitarthy.
If he ever does cover for the Hopefuls, we really have to step up our game on our clothing because he does dress well.
stylish.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he's quite debutante. But yeah, so that was a wonderful Friday night. Cheers for having us along. The next day had gig. It was Community Centre in Norfolk, which was it was all for Remembrance Day.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Which I mean, I was worried about how it was going to go down because I mean, if you're thinking I'm going to remember people that fought for us and died for us, and let's have a dance. You know, it's kind of like almost like dancing on people's graves. You don't really want that.
Yeah, but there's also something about celebrating. You know,
something jubilant about it. And I said that, like, you know, I was trying to make it so that it wasn't just a gig with that tagged on. What I did was I actually donated 15 CDs that I was just like, proceeds of that all go to charity and go to the Royal British Legion, which was nice because that made him about £100, I think, and then people can take it away as a bit of sort of, I can listen to this album feeling good about myself a bit now, which is good. But I also made a point that between the songs, just to sort of think about there's a lot of British flags and American flags around, but I sort of making statements just to say to the fact of, so you are from the UK, and there were from people from the 490 bombing group, which is the States. But don't forget that there are people from different countries that fought and died for you, that don't look like you, they don't sound like you, they have different cultures, they have different beliefs than you, but we are still grateful for them.
Yeah.
How did that go down? Good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's one of those points that doesn't often get, because whenever you see, it's Remembrance Day, it's like, our boys in blue or whatever.
Sometimes feels a bit patriotic.
Yeah, it's a bit too nationalist.
It doesn't need to be.
And if history's taught us anything, nationalism often leads to wars. I mean, it was one of the big things for World War One. So we kind of need to be very, very conscious of that fact. And in the middle of the gig at 11 o'clock, because it wasn't actually the 11th, we just did 11 p.m. of the 11th month. We did the the bugle call. What's it called? The last post. That's the last post. Yeah, and 2 minute silence, which was really quite. It was quite moving. I was telling a story about how my granddad was in the war. He survived it, thankfully. But there's this awesome picture of him because he fought in Africa, and he's sort of it used to be crawled like people like have scorpions and snakes and spiders crawling over him at night. But there's this awesome picture of him on top of a dune, just like posing there in his sick outfit with a gun. I'm like, ooh, that'll never be me. And then
the most manly
with
picture
an aerial battle going on in the background, just explosions going. And he's just like, whoa,
wow, that sounds like your
What
granddad, you've got a lot of your personality from him, because I can imagine you doing that.
I'd be like, oh, give me yourself. But we were talking about this like before, like
your granddad would like, let's take a selfie.
Yeah, he's got a little stick, on the end of his bayonet, but no, he's this incredible thing was just thinking about what our grandchildren are going to be looking back at us, like the pictures of us just like on Snapchat with our little massive eyes and little shrunken mouths, and we're like, that's my granddad.
It's very strange.
Yeah, a little bit.
Very strange.
But yeah, so that was the one thing that grinds my gears. All right, Josh has a rent. Mark it off your bingo card. In the middle of the last post and the 2 minute silence, there was a kid there, nice little kid. I like him, but his parents let him play mobile games during that 2 minute silence and didn't turn it on silent. And he's sitting there while everybody's sitting there.
This kid?
I want to say about 9, 10, something like that.
Oh, no.
And like, if he was like maybe like 2 or something like that, I'd be like, okay, you've got to keep him there without, keep him. I don't know. just corpus mentis. But like, I was really finding it difficult to just focus and just think about
courtesy, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I didn't want to be the guy that goes, outrage, just absolutely reprehensible.
No, you're like, let's wait until we're on radio and I can rant to more people.
Passive aggressively. But at least in
But
his
then sometimes no one says anything. And it takes someone just to say something.
Yeah, exactly.
Be the person. You could be the person.
Yeah. But anyway, that was my week, good sir. And I am happy to share it with you, wonderful people. Oh. What did I do? Stuff. So I think we should play what Harley and I did out with some music, and I would like to suggest a nice little, I feel like a sort of a wine taster. Also swill this around your mouth, wonderful people. Casswell. Have you seen Casswell?
I like this girl. Yeah,
she's wonderful. And Merlin Bruce works with it. On the keys and a lot of the composition. Awesome. She is playing locally with Underline the Sky.
Nice.
This weekend. So if you stick around for the gig list, you will be able to tell you where. This is available on iTunes. This is called Lie to Me. Check it out.
Lovely.
That was Lie to Me by Casswell. Available on iTunes and everything. That's her most recent single, but she's got loads of music out at the moment. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled on her. She's one to watch, I do declare. So yes, Andy, we've been talking too much. We want you to talk more than that about who are you, what you've been doing.
Well, Harley was just suggesting that I maybe just talked about a typical week.
Yeah. Good. Do as much as typical as a musician's week can
every
be.
Week is completely different.
Yeah.
You know. So recently I've been doing covering my friend Emily for some rehearsals with the Felix Day Community Choir.
Oh, great! Yeah.
On a Monday. Mm-hmm. They're a lovely bunch of people. They've had over 100 members come through their doors in their time.
Wow.
Which is really great. Other times on a Monday, I go into London and I sing with the London Vocal Project. So we rehearse on a Monday.
Oh, great, yeah. So you do a lot of vocal coaching, don't you?
Yeah, I do quite a bit. So I do choirs, I do the choirs thing, and then I do some one-to-ones and groups and things as well.
You still taking on private students?
Yes,
you are.
I am.
How do people get in contact with you?
Email, phone number, Facebook.
We'll put that on
It's all very available.
Link in the description.
Any of those ways.
Link in the description, guys, yeah.
Tuesdays I teach at Angie Ruskin.
Oh, great, in Cambridge, yeah.
So I do a couple of lectures.
Ruskies.
Lead a choir and then do lots of one-to-one teaching and stuff. Mm-hmm. Wednesdays is a bit of a...
Is that mostly workshops you do, or is it a lot of one-to-ones?
A lot of one-to-ones, and then I do a performing arts lecture and a music lecture, and then run the choir.
Crikey.
So
long days,
it is a very long day. It's literally a 12-hour day.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's like non-stop.
And that's without the travel. Yeah,
that's the thing with people that I think people don't understand with teaching is like, it doesn't have to just be music teaching, but like it's being charismatic all day.
Yeah,
I mean, I've got
a lot of energy.
My Thursdays are now going to be from 8:30 until basically 9 o'clock at night, teaching and being engaging and
it's exhausting.
You don't realise it's exhausting until you do actually throw yourself into it. So a lot of respect for that, Andy.
Yeah. I've been doing that for donkey's years. And actually this year's not as bad because unfortunately Anglo-Ruskin had to cut their budget. So the one-to-one sessions have gone down in hours.
It's happening a lot.
Which is a real shame.
It's happening everywhere for music.
And I also know at the college, like, there's no more one-to-one lessons there anymore.
Right.
Which is
That's
really
so they don't do
sad.
any
No,
peripatetics.
it's really sad, but you know, education's sort of become this business, hasn't it? Where
privatised.
it's all kind of like we've got to get the students in, we've got to keep them, and the whole kind of music education portfolio kind of thing has to go out the window a bit, which is awful.
It sucks, yeah.
Anyway, so I just do that one day now at ARU.
2
Wednesdays, you might find me behind the bar at the Dove.
Oh yeah.
Behind
Because-
the bar. Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Because
Is that you just
I work on
fell straight over it?
So I sometimes work there on a Wednesday. Wednesday is sort of my Saturday night.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
usually go out on a Wednesday
Yeah.
Right.
and have a few beers because I'm normally working at the weekend. So that's
Yeah.
always my Saturday.
That's it. When
which
is
is weird, but
yeah.
There we go.
um,
There's so many good things going on in work in around here on Wednesdays. Though. There's an open mic night a lot on Wednesdays at the Angel.
Yes.
And also,
I've never been down there.
yeah, the Angel
it
in
does
Woodbridge.
look good, yeah.
And also this week, Phil Jackson's playing there, so
Ooh.
that'll be
Oh,
quite
nice.
fun. So
Nice.
that'll stick to the gig list, and I'll give you some more
Yeah.
clues.
Thursdays is Suffolk Soul Singers,
Yes, of course.
Sweet.
the lovely
SSS.
community choir that is Suffolk Soul Singers.
And where do you hold that?
That's at Ipswich Academy,
Okay.
6 till 8.
Wonderful.
And then after that, we have I do like a little vocal group for people that want to do some more kind of singing stuff rather
Nice.
than just choir. Fridays is hit and miss, probably a gig.
Yeah.
Saturday, probably a gig. Possibly working at the pub in the day.
So you gig with us with Hoppi And The Hopefuls, which
Yeah.
we talk about quite a lot, but that's nowhere near like your sort of majority of gigs. Because
So
what do you
I
usually gig as?
Oh, wow. It could be anything. So I do a lot of jazz stuff with like duos, quartets,
Mm-hmm.
things. I get the occasional like function dep,
Mm-hmm.
obviously Hoppi. I do some solo stuff, just
Mm-hmm.
piano.
Yeah, so you do that before.
Play sax in horn sections now and again as well.
Great, yeah.
So it's all kind of
Many strings to your saxophone.
yeah,
Yeah.
hit and miss really. You know,
It's
you never know
wood
what's gonna
strings. That's what I think.
Wooden strings.
pop
Yeah,
up.
wood strings.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good to have that to diversify. I think there's a lot of things that that's something that people a lot of the time had to learn the hard way with a musician's life. Is that if you're a one-trick pony, you can lose that one trick quite easily.
Yeah,
So
and
if you just teach, or if you just gig, or if you just have one band, or if you just teach one instrument, it's quite easy for you to lose a
And
job.
it's really hard to get that across to students.
Yeah, here it is.
Because a lot of them are like, well, I only want to play my originals. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that's great,
I was
but
like that.
how are you going to actually make a living? Because really, it's unless suddenly you're going to make it within the first 6 months.
Yeah.
Even then, I know guys that have done really well, but they're still teaching places, and they're still because actually you've got bills to pay.
Yeah.
So trying to get into students' heads sometimes, well, actually, you might not think you want to learn to read, but you're going to need to in some way.
Yeah.
You might not
Really
think
well.
I need to learn covers, but you're going to have to at some point.
Well, it's only going to get harder because
know.
you're a sponge at this point when you're young.
Yeah.
And so you can just suck that up. But where it is, there's some things that I have not studied since doing grade 5 theory back
Yeah.
in college
Yeah.
that I look at now and I'm just like, oh, I can't remember how to read that.
Yeah.
I've kind of gone the other way actually because I've recently started using Guitar Pro to write music tabs for students.
Yeah.
And you still have to use the notation to get the note values
Yeah.
right,
Mm-hmm.
even on tab because it adds the,
I don't
the
love
understand.
music.
I don't
Bible.
understand tab. I'll say that now. I don't get
Fair
tab
enough.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean,
because I'm just a reader. So like,
yeah, I think it's one of the. Tab isn't perfect. It tells you how to play something in a particular way, and it doesn't work for everyone.
It
Yeah.
doesn't give you expression, which
No.
notation can do quite easily.
It can do a lot better. But I've been reading my note, like getting my dots, going through dots sort of thing, and getting the rhythmic right. And I'm like, oh, I'm so happy that I'm kind of working out. I'm going, cool, that's a dot there, yeah. And I'm a, how do I going to say this?
Words.
I'm words. I'm surprised at how much stayed in, bearing in mind I have done very little
Yeah.
reading
Yeah.
since
Yeah,
college.
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. That's
see,
good.
and I read all the time in my job.
That just shows why
That's
you
it.
should learn young because it
Yeah.
just will stay
I mean,
with you.
I could read music.
Just like fears and phobias, they stick with you, and it's just
Yeah.
to say who've got phobia of notation, and you've got your stuff.
yeah,
Don't you?
I could read before I went to school. I know that's like freak child, but
Yeah.
I started playing when I was 2.
Nice.
I was having violin lessons when I was 2.
Wow.
So
and violin. Oh, your poor parents. Jeez. You got a 2-year-old and violin.
Then I got a. I was
literally,
very
when
tiny.
you say you've got the world's smallest violin
I
playing for
did
you,
have
you got
the
a
world's
sob
smallest
story.
Then I picked up a trumpet and a recorder.
That's why
and,
Slim
wanted to play
had you.
other
He was like,
stuff.
I literally just want to teach my daughter. Like, just so every time somebody's got a sob story, like, Andy, come in here. Yeah.
So yeah, as I learned words, I learned to read music. So it's second nature to me.
Would you say English is now your second language?
yeah, exactly.
The way I speak, sometimes yes.
Yeah. Exactly. Crotchet quaver, slur. Amazing. But so we've had one comment on our video so far from David Brown, a quality guest. Now we're talking.
Oh,
Look at that.
Yeah,
Charmer.
Because now we are actually talking.
We are actually talking
because we're live on the
and
radio.
David Brown has been
Hey.
a guest on here before, so he knows about how bad the guests.
I did sort of enforce myself upon you.
No, it's all right. No, we love
No.
that because you do have some very interesting news, which I would like to get to. But I would still like to play some bit of music
After
first.
a song,
Let's play a
yeah.
song. Jamie Robertson of Punch Studios and a beautiful producer at that has been coming out with some new music. He's in Bad Stone, which have 2 gigs this weekend, which we are going to be telling you about later on. But he's also in Sunscreen. Sunscreen. They have a brand new EP out. And the title track is Big Red Lazy Sun. We'd like to put this on now. Very dreamy psychedelia coming out here. So this is all available on all your platforms. Check it out. This is
Even the
Sunscreen.
shoes?
Yes, even
on platform shoes.
Even oil drilling.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, enjoy. Lovely people. That was Big Red Lazy Sun by Sunscreen, and that'll be available on all your streaming media platforms and things. So now to the interesting part. Ooh, you thought it was interesting before. Now it's going to get informative. Let's get it on. So music news time. Andy has some first-hand from horse's mouth. She's been feeding the music industry horse, and the horse came at her and was just like, here's some statistics and things. And she was like, I'm going to go on the radio and talk about it. I don't know. So that's how you feed a horse, isn't it? Open
feed
palm.
a pony. Yeah, that's
open
it.
palm.
Yeah.
Open palm. Andy, please blow our minds with what amazing stuff you've been doing in Amsterdam.
So I was with Amsterdam. I was in Amsterdam for the Musicians Union at a FIM meeting.
FIM. What's FIM
So
stand for?
FIM is the International Federation of Musicians.
Oh.
So it is all the musicians' unions around Europe on this occasion, not the world. So it was a Europe meeting. First day was a health conference. Second day was like a normal executive meeting.
Yeah, okay.
So they're sort of covering a
What
few...
kind of stuff do you usually discuss in the executive meetings?
Well, the executive meetings tend to be like the general industry stuff. So we bit on gender inequality and a bit on obviously the new copyright directive, which everyone's kind of worrying about massively. And the health conference on the first day, which is the little bit that I was speaking about, I did a little speech about self-employed musicians and mental health.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, that
It
is a big area.
thing.
And do you think because there's obvious, I feel there's a lot more focus on it now
Yeah, but
in
I
the last few years. Do you think there's enough?
No, there'll never be enough
No.
because it is super stressful,
Yeah.
the stuff that we do. But there are, so there is a couple of things that I would just like to tell you about, is that Help Musicians UK has got a mental health helpline for musicians, which
Great.
anyone can contact at any time.
Great. Do you have that number?
No, but I
we'll
can
put
look
it-
it up in a second.
we'll
yeah.
put it in the description.
And also, Music Support is another helpline for musicians with any kind of addiction problems.
Great, yeah.
And they're both completely free phone, and you can get in touch with them. So
important.
things are starting to happen, things like that.
Yeah.
People are starting to be a bit more aware, and I know the kind of mental health and self-care, and we're all trying to be better at doing that. I mean,
Yeah.
I am like the worst at doing that, but
So many people just internalize it. It's the strange thing about how musicians are so external and they express so much, but they will internalize
Yeah.
so many pains.
yeah, and there's all those kind of extra
get on with it.
stresses that no one else has.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're waiting to be paid, or
Yeah.
like
Not
am I
knowing when
gonna
you're
get
going to
the
get
gig
paid.
again,
Yeah.
or am I? It's just.
Or you're in a
it's
band on stage acting happy with people you absolutely hate.
Hate, yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many different
Yeah, sorry.
horrible bits to it. And then there was a bit about aging.
Oh, okay.
and a bit about the aging musician and sort of the physical strain of that and the
Doesn't affect
emotional
us.
strain of that. Because we're all living longer.
Yeah.
Of course,
So,
yeah.
you know, we're all living that much longer at the end of
And
our
we're also expected to
careers.
work for longer as well.
And we are, yeah. So there's a lot. I mean, and there was loads of different opinions from people all over Europe about how they're managing that within their orchestra or within their membership. Or, and there was also just lots of really interesting stuff about health-wise, about how you can look after yourself better. And of course, in the UK, we've got Buckhannon, which is the British Association of Performance something medicine.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me just double check that so I can help you out there because I feel bad.
But that they offer lots and lots of support for performers
Right.
Yeah.
with specialist problems. So, like recently, I've had RSI in my hand.
Oh, okay.
From
British Association for Performing Arts Medicine.
That's the
There we go.
one.
Nice.
Thank you. So yeah, recently I've had a few. So I went to see physio.
Yeah.
And sort of
your wrist.
it's been sorted, but you know, problems like that are gonna be annoying. And
Yeah.
in 20 years' time, is that going to be an issue for me?
Yeah,
You know,
of
so there's
course.
all those.
Is there
kind of
long-term
things.
effects? Of,
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Buckhannon can help with that, and also if you're an MU member, you can get some funding help for that as well,
Wow.
and also with. Help Musicians UK, you can get funding help for health issues, and also through the Royal Society of Musicians, you can help to get funding for things.
Wow.
So, say if you're a vocalist and you're having some real voice problems, or you've got the RSI thing, or you know you're a guitarist and you've got posture and shoulder issues, or a kit player, you know, like there's millions of things that affect us specifically.
Music
So
is a very
there is a bit
demand.
of help out there.
We don't
Yeah.
get paid leave and things like this.
Yeah,
Because we're
exactly. Sick
self-employed,
pay
so-
and stuff like that. Well, the Royal Musicians Society is really good for things like that. So if you do have to take some time off work, or if you do, like me, have to pay 50 quid to see a physio, or you know, they can give you some money to help with that. So
That's wonderful.
that's-
Just
really
a little
cool.
bit of a subsidy is just
yeah,
wonderful.
and it's just another reason to be an MU member.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I am.
You're
Are you,
selling
Harley?
it? I'm not.
Harley.
I'm sorry.
I feel like I just put you on the spot there. I apologise.
That's naughty.
I really should. That's my list of things to do. I think.
we're going to
and
keep
is it-
bugging him now, aren't we? We're going to
Yeah, we are.
we're going to bug you.
Is it
And do you pay annually that for
You
that?
can pay annually, you can pay monthly.
monthly? I
Okay.
pay monthly.
You can do a direct debit, or yeah, whatever.
Cool.
You want.
You'll
yeah.
give me the form when we finish. Do you carry one around?
No,
with
it's,
you
website.
all
everywhere
the
you
money
go?
just goes to Andy, cash.
Yeah.
It's all on the website. You can do it in seconds.
Cool. I'll
It's
have to
dead
check
easy.
I'll have to check the link in the description below right now.
Of your own podcast.
Oh, dear.
Brilliant. I mean, yeah. So, fruitful meeting in Amsterdam then.
Absolutely, and then there is the slightly exciting copyright thing, which I know you
Oh,
were
yeah, we
talking
talked about
the
this
other
with Raina,
day.
actually.
And the whole, you know, the value gap and how that's going to work. And
Yeah.
I don't know how much you kind of got into it, but if you've got any like questions you want to.
So outline it. What are the changes that are happening to?
So it's also the value gap that I
That-
talk
right.
about. This is what they call it. Is so fair remuneration for authors and performers.
That-
So we've already got this copyright directive, but we want to improve it because at the moment, YouTube, Google, you know, they're kind of
Yeah.
unpoliced. They're not paying any copyright, so no one's getting any rights for
Right.
anything they put out there, which is not fair remuneration because, you know, other people are.
Yeah.
So, and then there's also the streaming issue, which, yes, we're getting paid for streaming, but labels are currently getting 7 times more than artists.
That's not fair.
Yeah. So, and also, you don't necessarily get any payments at all unless you're on a royalty deal.
Okay.
So if you did a one-off buyout, you're not going to get anything. So it's only if you're on a royalty deal
With the label.
with the label that you're going to get any payment at all, and then they're going to get 7 times more than you, which seems insane.
Bear in mind, you went through all the effort of actually writing and recording the song, which,
And performing the song, and you know,
and that
it's
song
just-
wouldn't exist without you.
Yeah. And then they just go, oh, no, we'll just take more.
So
money.
what I kind of
There's
got
a-
from Article 13 was, so it's the kind of the meme ban thing as well, just talking about like
Oh, with images and stuff as well.
exactly.
Yeah, images are part
they're
of
all in
this,
the same-
and lyrics
But
and
I find that
poetry and
this is wonderful for people that maybe like Paul McCartney that has sort of like, gets his music used all the time without his knowing. But I think for the little guys, sometimes it's going to hurt people, because a lot of the people that are musicians are also content providers like we are in the podcast, and we can't put the music that we play live on the radio on our podcast because of copyright laws, and I think that's just going to hurt us even more.
But you could just get a PRS license.
Yes, but I think that's going to just discourage a lot more people that are really just trying to struggle and make something of things.
Yeah. Thing is, though, for a PRS license for something like this, you're not talking megabucks. You're talking maybe
it's going to thin the herd out a lot more.
It's more,
and then you can actually play the music on everything that you want it to play on. Rather than having to cut it out.
I think the problem we have is the fact that we have our podcasts available to download for free from iTunes. Nice advert.
And
but
you
then,
can rate it.
if people can then download someone else's song for free off iTunes, then they're essentially getting a copy of the music free. So it's kind of that's what we take it out, just because then it's technically piracy.
Yeah.
So the wrong people will be getting the money for these kind of things, but I think that's really going to thin the herd of sort of YouTube presenters. I mean, there's millions of people that are on YouTube. That is good quality.
But you've
music
got to remember that with YouTube, that money is not going to come from the end user.
It's come from ads.
So the end user is not going to, and you're not going to have to pay to use YouTube. What's going to happen is that the rights holders and the licensees are going to make a better deal. So it's not that you're going to have to pay to use YouTube. It is just that. I mean, you get that thing on Facebook where if you put something up, it says, "Are you the copyright holder of this?" And you go, "No," and they go, "Just to let you know that the copyright holder will get the money from this." So Facebook's already doing it. It's just that YouTube and Google have been dead lazy and saying, "Oh, we don't really have the software available." I'm like, "You're Google. Of course you have."
Yeah, they just don't want to.
You just don't want to because you don't want to be bothered to actually pay people properly.
That's it. They get all the money out of their adverts.
So you're saying about YouTube, I'm not sure whether it will, because no one's going to have to pay to use YouTube.
There's a lot of teething issues, isn't it? And it'll be interesting to see how this pans out, because I think this could be either good news or bad news. I think there will be a lot of people paid much better for the stuff that they are deserved, but I think there will be also a lot of people that will be left in the dust, and they just won't be able to afford PRS licenses. They won't be able to just use these things that have been free for us, because I think there will come a point where YouTube will just be, or Google will be making things you'll have to pay to use them.
In America,
it's a private company, or
they've already done in America. They do YouTube Red, which is a subscription-based one. They haven't rolled it out to the UK, and the idea of that is, I think it's $5 or $10 a month. I can't remember exactly. No adverts. So then the people who provide the content, who are monetized,
like Netflix,
get the money direct from Google that they would get from adverts. And there's also YouTube Red special shows that some people
there's going to be YouTube Red Special Plus, and there's going to be YouTube Purple, the special premium. There's going to be extra ones added
YouTube
on top.
Grey for colourblind people.
But yeah, I think there's some really interesting stuff.
I think just because it's been a bad system doesn't mean that we shouldn't strive to improve it.
Yeah, that's right.
Because saying like, people won't want to buy a license, if you're going to use other people's art, if you're going to use other people's art and other people's intellectual property, you should be paying for that.
We are
at some level. Do you know what I mean? So I think there is a kind of generational thing about music is for free. And you can download. You've always been able to stream, download, whatever you want, and that doesn't necessarily make it right.
No,
so that's my little,
I think
we're on it.
We are.
Is that I think it can definitely be much, much better.
Yeah, we are living in the wild west of the internet at the moment.
Absolutely.
You talk about, people say about the Wild West, and like in the is it the Frontier, whatever it was. Days in America. Didn't realise that it was only like 7 years. It was a very short period of time. Yeah. Whilst they were discovering,
Gold Rush.
A
lot of movies happened in 7 years. But there's still going to be the teething, whilst the people who are doing the right thing are going to eventually it will equal out to a world where everything's nice and equal and fair. But we are in the early days of that, so there's going to be a bit of pulling and pushing from both sides to before there is a flat ground.
The only reason that YouTube and they've got away with it so long is because it's user-based content. So if it'd been any other way, it wouldn't have happened. But we have ended up, as you say, in the Wild West.
Yeah, well, I think that's really interesting stuff. Thank you for bringing that all the way from the continent.
From Amsterdam, which is the most beautiful
Imported
city.
knowledge. I love it. like
So-
Amstel knowledge. So we'd like to get onto some crazy music, like industry ideas. So this next story might blow your mind.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd like to go into a little thing that we talk about called Thing I Thought About This Morning. The thing I thought about this morning.
Jingle.
So Harley told me about this.
I found this hilarious.
So what's his name? Jared Threatin is a Los Angeles rock band. Well, he owns a rock band just called Threatin. And he has basically booked a tour recently, coming over from Los Angeles to the UK, multiple venues, and these venues are like the Underworld in Camden, and the Asylum
So like
too.
the medium kind of venue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So at least 300 caps.
Yeah. Sub
And-
400s.
Yeah, and so telling people that he's sold out tickets, or at least the 200 tickets, comes like things like this. And on his Facebook, he's got 38,000 likes. And turns out that he bought them all. So basically, Jared Threatin posed as the booking agent and promoter to score the band gigs. He then used fake show footage that was edited to make it look like they were playing in front of large crowds, bought YouTube views, event RSVPs, and Facebook likes to put the band's page at 38,000 likes, and lied about ticket sales to venue owners. So it wasn't until Threatin's tour kicked off on November 1st, so this is very, very recently, the red flags started popping up on social media. The Underworld, the venue that hosted the show, made a post stating the band's agent claimed they had sold 291 tickets in advance. Only 3 people showed up. What a weird show to go. And they looked at the Facebook event, and they were all faked, as everyone who was marked as attending were actually from Brazil.
I think it was a...
Like, you're going to come to London, are you? For this band that nobody's heard of.
There was a funny thing, actually. I heard about Brazil, a random thing I heard on a podcast, that in Brazil, squirrels can't kneel.
Well, they've got too many stars on their knees.
That's what it is.
Jared has now deleted both his personal page and band's
really?
page from Facebook, so it's gone now. But
So does he not owe any kind of cancellation fees? For
I
these
think
venues?
a lot of venues. I think the venues were very angry. I know there was one venue. They were like, "We need paying now because we haven't made any money out of the tickets, and we've still got staff to pay for tonight."
Exactly.
That's a classic example.
Well, this touches on a subject of... sorry, you were saying.
Sorry, classic example, like, as we say, MU stuff, is protecting musicians against other musicians.
Yeah, a lot of
Because
the time.
some musicians are crazy, like this dude, and sometimes we need to protect
You gotta watch the video
against each other.
He's got a YouTube
people
video.
do crazy
He's a
stuff.
one-man band.
He's a one-man band. He hired musicians, but apparently they were all very rude and they didn't like being there.
Oh, really?
And so was he to the other support bands. But yeah, there's a music video, and you've got to watch it.
It's
so bad.
It's awkward,
It's
isn't it?
so
It's just
bad.
awkward.
Oh, it's just awful.
But
he's like, life is pain, and he's all like got a frame and he's putting it around and stuff. But this touches on the thing of like paid Facebook likes and the pressure that we're under as bands to be able to
Absolutely.
look like we've got a fan base.
I know artists who have paid for likes, and it's quite funny because I've shown them to like my girlfriend and gone, check this artist out, and she's like, oh yeah, they're really doing well. Look how many likes I've got. It's like, they're not all real.
They're no way near real.
And people outside of the music industry struggle to understand that. And then the thing is,
you can do that on
see
Facebook with friends as well.
You can see someone.
You can buy friends.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do it. Off Facebook.
I bet.
Yeah.
Like online slavery.
I'm paying Josh to be here.
Wait, what? Andy took that money as well.
Yeah. Andy's
thought
my
that-
friend agent.
Thank you for friend agent. I like that.
Fully contracted, let me
She
add.
gets
Contact
15%
Andy.
Yeah, nice. But thank you for bringing that to our attention, Harley. I thought that was an absolutely
I want to talk
hilarious
about that
story.
more next week, I think, because I think if you've got any thoughts on that, comment in the
Tweet us at
description.
Lockabilly's, at Harley C. You've got a Twitter handle
I
at
have at Andi Hopgood.
Andy Hoppi. So tweet us. Let us know what you think about that. But we've got to rush through the gig list because we're about to finish
I'm
off.
sorry I spoke for too long, didn't I?
Not
Sorry.
at all.
Once you get me started,
right?
once you get me started, I could go all day. Sorry.
So we're going to be playing some music for the end to play us off. But before that, this November 15th, which is Wednesday, we were talking. Phil Jackson is doing a solo original set live at the Angel in Woodbridge. That's actually Thursday. Sorry, not Wednesday. Thursday at 8 o'clock.
I guess hopefully the open mic night will still be on.
Yeah, exactly.
On Wednesday as well.
Courtesy of Blue Bus Tour, so that'd be Peter Hepworth.
Sweet.
Thank you, mate. Friday, November 16th, Emerge, the Emerge night that goes on at the John Peel Centre for new bands. We're going to be playing some music from Telling Truths at the end here, so they're playing that one. Manic Blackout, Charcoal, and we've played this before, Jamie from Sunscreen, Bad Stone.
Yeah.
They're playing this Friday, 7:30 at the John Peel Centre. November 16th, we've got the Lamplight Club, When Rivers Meet, and Sandcastle Jesus live. So that's going to be at the Queen Street Brew House. November 16th, also, we've got Spoilers, Incisions, Bandits, and more. That's at the Smokehouse. So if you like your punky stuff, that'll be really fun. We've played Spoilers on the show before. November 16th, we've also got Soap Your Auntie. I've literally just been talking to Oscar Charlton on Facebook about the last time they played at the Mulberry Tree, or I think, no, it's not the Mulberry Tree.
The Mulberry Tree's been shut
the Milestone. Yeah,
That's been shut not quite as well.
Yeah, exactly. The Milestone, that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, there was a photo of us playing there 2 years ago together and just hanging out.
I used to love those
So
gigs.
yeah, Soap Your Auntie, Friday at 9 o'clock at the Railway on Vauxhall Road. That'll be great. That'll be packed. November 16th, we got Throughwise Monkeys are presenting The Mighty Small, Yasmin Hendricks, good name, and Pillbox.
And this is Colchester.
That's Colchester, Friday at 8 o'clock. Throughwise Monkeys. Also on the 17th, I've got your gigs on here as well.
Okay, cool.
17th, we've got Gaffer Tape Sandy,
Nice.
Fight Milk, great name.
Whoa.
Interlude, Bad Stone, they got 2 gigs this weekend.
Hey, double
and
weekend.
a great band named Goldbloom. There it is. That's at the Huntley Club in Bury St Edmunds on the 17th.
Oh, that's a cool little venue.
Yeah, it's a great little venue. I love it there. Harry Green Trio is playing with Ashton Jones, who is now on an Amazon advert.
Oh, yeah.
Singing as a box.
Do you know what, though? I missed that session. I was meant to be on it.
Oh, no, you would have been a box on Amazon. Oh, that would have been great for Ipswich. 2 people from Ipswich being singing
loads
boxes.
of my mates from London was
Cool,
there, and I was like,
crikey.
no, I'm working.
Well, they're playing at the Cambridge Jazz Festival. So that's in Cambridge on the Saturday at 7. November 17th, we've got Chart Attack.
We have indeed.
Live at the Boar's Head in Braintree.
Yes, it's a little far out of town, but I'm
Saturday
looking forward to that
9:30.
one.
Far away.
Braintree in Essex, that'd be great.
We've got. Can I mention a couple of open mic nights we've got going on? We have got Manning's open mic night on the 18th of November.
Nice.
This is a new one, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe that one. I think was run by
the funny comedy singing
Robin
dude,
Dicker.
Robin.
There we
There we
go. And also that on the Sunday during the afternoon for any under 18s who might be listening, we've got our icebreakers
Hey, Rob
at the
Lewis.
railway, which will
At the
be great.
Railway, huh?
Yep.
Do you know what time?
I think it's a 2:30 start. I
Half 2
double
start.
check.
Yeah, check that out. Under 18s open mic night. You need to get there. Yeah, that's the stars of tomorrow. That one.
Yeah.
November 17th. We've also got the wonderful Underline the Sky playing with Casswell, who we played earlier. If you
Yeah.
like Lie to Me, go along to that. Plus Deep City. They're playing Saturday at 7:30 at the John Peel Centre. Loads going on at the John Peel Centre this week. And also we've got 2 more shows. November 17th, Colchester at the Bull.
Yep.
We've got some good rockabilly from the Copycats. I've seen them before. They're
Yeah.
great. They put on a good live show with lots of covers. And also the last one we got here, 18th, which is a Sunday, here at Smokehouse, we've got Dead Reynolds, Tom Lumley, and more. So that's from 7:30 p.m.
Nice.
Loads going on. If you're not out this weekend,
Go
then sort yourself out. Go out. I
Yeah.
think you'll really enjoy yourself. If you're listening to this on the Thursday, Phil Jackson's going on tonight, and also there's so much going on this weekend. If you listen to that past this weekend, then wow, you're in the future, man. You're in the great beyond.
Let us know what it's like.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know in the comments if you've got bingo as well. Please let us know because we'll rake you a jingo.
Yeah.
A bingo jingo.
A bingo jingo.
And follow us on the Facebooks, follow us on the YouTubes, the subscribey things. Follow Andi; she's also a teacher. So
What's your Twitter?
if you want to sing as well as she
At
does,
Andy Hoppy.
at Hondi Appy, not a thing.
Or Andy Hopgood Musician on the Facebook.
There we
Yay,
go. Find, like, thumbs up, and all of that.
Yeah, real likes.
Real
I'm
likes,
not gonna pay you.
yeah. We don't accept likes from robots, so
So thank you very much for listening to us, guys. It's been a wonderful little chat. Thank you for coming in, Andy. Last minute.
Anytime.
Let's play some music from Telling Truths. This track is called Cover Your Tracks. It's available on iTunes, Spotify, and everything like that.
3-part harmony. Bye.
Yes, mate.
Bye.
Yeah.